Mandy and this is my channel Make It So. Today's video is part of the collaboration that I'm doing with the lovely ladies Judi from Running So and So and Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam. Now you would have seen our launch video on the 7th of May and then Judi released a vlog on the 17th of May. So guess what today's date is? Yep, it's the 27th of May and you've got me, Mandy, just showing you what I've been up to and to see how you're all getting on. If you haven't watched the other videos, I will put a link in the description box below, and it's just a really lovely challenge, and I thought I might rename my channel Make It Slow for this challenge because I'm only just starting to make my toile of my Sauvie dress. But I'm going to show you a video of my first part of cutting out and then I'll come back to you at the end. So I'll see you soon. Hello, today I am going to be making a toile for the Sew House 7 Sauvie dress. And what I thought I'd do, I know that both Sam and Judi have actually made a toile for this one, and they've had some different alterations they've had to do for the shoulder strap. So I thought it'd be a good idea for me to make a toile too, just to check length and sizing, and I thought I'd take you with me if that's all right. So first of all, I've got all the instructions and I've got a spare piece of paper that came when I cut out my pattern I kept, so I thought I would write down everything. I have actually written my size on there because I was filming this and then realised I was doing a photo so I done all the chatting away. And then I went to start cutting out and I realised that it was a photo, so you never would have seen what I'd done. So I'm here again and I haven't cut out. So what I was doing was, first of all, I had a look at the pattern and what version I'd like to make, because there's a short version and then you've got longer versions, and one has just the straight down pattern, the short version. Then you have the longer version that's just straight down, and then you have this longer version with a nice elasticated waist, and then one with the elasticated waist and a ruffle at the bottom. So I really like the idea of this version with the cinched in waistband because I like it to flow over my hips a bit, because I have got bigger hips than anything else, and I'm not sure how it's going to look if I just did it straight down. For my actual main version, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough fabric to make a longer version, so for the toile I thought that'd be nice to try it. And I'm also going to do the inseam pockets because we do like pockets. And looking at my sizing, I had a look at all the bust measurements including the high bust, and it looks like I would need to make a size 16, which is something that I have been making in most patterns recently. And then I looked at the finished measurements, and obviously there's quite a bit of ease. For example, in the hips you've got an ease of 6 inches for a 16. So I thought, I reckon I could go down one size at least, so I'm going to make this in a 14. So I wrote my 14 down, and then after that I thought I'd look at the length, because like I said, with my Think Pink fabric I don't think I'm going to have enough to make the longer version because of my height, and there's no way I'd be shortening that pattern unless I decide that I want to make it slightly shorter, which doesn't happen very often for me. So what I've done is I've marked where the size 14 length would be for version 1 and then for version 3. And I've only marked them on the tape because my family don't really want to be on camera to measure me, so I thought I'd do it myself. Now, a lot of patterns normally get you to measure from the nape of your neck and down on the back, but on this version Peggy's actually done it from the shoulder seam at the front. So I'm going to put it here and just hang it naturally, and even the shorter version does reach past my knee, which is good, and the longer version actually gets to my ankle, which is very unusual for me. So I know that, I think they're based on a 5'6" model, so bearing in mind I'm 5'8", that probably does almost touch the ground for a 5'6" model. So I don't need to lengthen this one, and that'd be good to see if I can, you know, actually shorten it slightly for my next version and try and do a waistband again. So I have some fabric that I'm going to use as my toile, and it's this fabric here, and what I'm doing this in viscose for is this is very similar to the weight of the Think Pink subscription boxes that I've got and the fabric I've got in mind. So I thought that would be a good idea to compare them and see how they fit and how it hangs on my body shape. And I was actually organised when I got this fabric because I did go through it last year, and I wrote down how much I've got on here. So for this version, which is version 3, I need either 3 3/4 yards of 54-inch wide fabric or 3.4 meters of 137 centimeter wide fabric, and I have 3 meters 39 so it's just under 3.4, but this is slightly wider, so I think I can get away with that. And for version 1, which I think I am going to have to do for the Think Pink fabric, or Beyond the Pink Doors, sorry, I'm thinking of Think Pink subscription box, I need 2.8 meters. That might be where I get stuck because this says 2.8 meters, so it will be interesting to see how much excess I've got of this one. And also what I'm thinking is, could I get away with a different fabric for the lining and the pockets? Will they actually show on the outside? And that's why we do a toile, just to see how things sit, how things fit. So I think I'm ready to cut out my paper pattern. I did cut it out roughly on the biggest size so that I could adapt it once I knew what size I was going to do. So I will join you again in a minute once I've cut it all out. So I've cut out all my pieces. There's 11 pieces in total, but it depends what version you're doing as to what you need. So for every single dress you will need pieces 1 and 2. So I've cut that out, and as you can see, not right to the bottom, but I can see that is quite a long piece. But if you want to make version 1, then that is fine as it is. But you have this little note at the bottom with this circle and A that says match half circles A and tape pages 2 and 3 together. And then you'll see on here you've got this pattern piece that you'll add to the bottom, and that's for all the longer versions, and except the ruffle. And then the second one you've got is for the back piece. Again, that is labelled with a little mark and B, and it says match half circles B and tape pages 2 and 3 together, and that's where you need to put them together. So I will do that in a minute. So that's all those bits out of the way. You've got this piece that says back vent attachment for version 2. I'm not doing version 2, so that's going to go back in my pattern folder. And then you've got your front lining, number 3, and number 4 your back lining, which you need for all the dresses. So one is a pocket opening facing for pocket A only. So you've got 2 pattern pieces. You've got pocket B only, number 6, so I won't need that piece, that can go away. So I need this one which says pocket A and B. That'll make sense as you're cutting it out why you only need those pieces, because it's inseam, so you don't see it like you would the ones on the outside, I believe. And then you've got, for all of your versions, a strap, number 8. Then this is 9A, which is a skirt ruffle. I won't need that because that is for version 4, which I'm not doing. And then you've got 9B, which is also for the ruffle, version 4, so I don't need that. And then the last two pieces are for your front and back neck interfacing. So that's piece 10 and 11. So the other bits are going to go away, and I'm just going to stick those extensions to the length, and then I'll get the fabric, lay it out and cut it out. And if I think there's anything you might want to know, I shall put that on here. Just a little thing that I do, on the front piece you have to flip the pattern piece over on the fold. So I've made sure mine I've actually done in the opposite direction to the line drawing on the pattern instructions. But what I've done is flipped it over, and of course you can't see, this is the front, it's got darts, and you need to make sure you can see where the markings are with the notches as well. So what I do is I go over on the actual right side of the pattern with a Sharpie pen, and then I can see where all my important notches like the pocket facing are before I cut it out. Hello again. So I just wanted to show you something else that I really like about the Sew House 7 patterns. And when you're cutting out, normally you go up your line relevant to your size, go across and then down again. But sometimes I get confused with where that line's going to be if the markings are similar. But Peggy's actually even thought about that, and she's put all the different sizes up to show you which order the lines go in. So I really like that. And I've been doing some of my sewing as well. I got a bit carried away after cutting out. This is viscose. It is quite movie. It moves everywhere. So I have had a bit of fun doing some of the edge stitching, but I'm getting there. I'm using a Microtex needle because that is just, I've used it a few times on other fabrics, and I just find that really nice with this fragile fabric. The instructions are great. I did have a bit of a head scratching moment when I went to do the pockets, because I'm so used to putting right sides together, and it said to put them right sides facing out because you were going along the side of the dress, because I'm doing the inseam pockets, so hopefully you can see that on the camera. And once I'd read the instructions a few times, because there's definitely not the instructions, it's me, it made more sense, and you'll see your right side is showing out on the inside of the dress as well. So what have I managed to do for my Sauvie dress so far? Well, I've managed to do all the stay stitching, and I've cut everything out. I didn't lengthen it at all, so I think we'll be okay. I've done the bust darts in both the main dress and the lining. I've done the pockets, which took me a little while because of my head scratching moments, but I've edge stitched everything, which you won't be able to really see much on the camera. So the next stage for me is to do the lining and the straps. And the straps, if you remember, I said Sam had to shorten her straps because of how it went down on the back. She'll talk to you more about that in her video. There's a line on the pattern that says suggested strap length, and then there's an extended strap length, so it does give you a bit of room for manoeuvring it if it is too short or too long. So I'm going to see how I get on with that, and whether I need to extend it, because I'm going to try it with the extra length first, just because of how I am with my shoulders, and then I might just need to shorten it. But that is my next stage for my Sauvie dress. So obviously this will be revealed at some point. I might actually put it on Instagram or on the Facebook group that we've got. If you haven't joined it already, I'm going to read it to make sure I get it right, and I'll put it on the screen. We're called Sew 7 Together. It's a private group, so you just have to ask to join, and either myself, Sam or Judy will add you. So there's lots of talk going on there about what people have been up to, and it's so lovely to talk to people about what fabric they're using and what pattern they're going to be doing, because like we said, if you didn't fancy making the Sauvie dress or the free range slacks, I've had to read what they were called because I keep calling them lazy day slacks and I don't know why. There are lots of other Sew House 7 patterns out there, and you might even have one already. I mean, I have the toaster sweater as well, but that's just not something I want to be making for this time of year. And so I'm hoping to use my Think Pink subscription box fabric for the main Sauvie, as I just said about in my little clip. We have got a discount code for the patterns, so if you go on to Sew House 7's website, add your pattern to the basket and then put a code of SEW7 together, which I'll put on the screen again, and you should get a 20% discount, and that is running for the whole length of the challenge. So it's been going on since May, and it will be going on until we have our celebrations on the 7th of July. So I'd love to know how you're getting on. Please put comments below and let me know, and obviously tag us all in when you do post anything on Instagram for the challenge. And coming up will be Sam on the 7th of June. I keep saying the wrong date, so sorry Sam. And we really look forward to seeing what you've been making. So I'm going to go for now and get on with some more sewing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.